All right. Welcome, everybody. Let's find a comfortable seat. Whatever that looks like for you, maybe prop the hips up with a little blanket or pillow. Find a longer, taller spine. If you have blocks, those might come in handy. If you don't have them, it's fine. You can use a pile of books, but I think today we'll be fine without them as well. So I'm a big fan of blocks, so I always say grab them if you have them. Otherwise, we'll find that long, tall spine and start to let the eyes close either completely or just starting to find a softer gaze towards the earth. And take this time to not change anything. Just bring awareness in. Bring awareness into the present moment, noticing sounds around you, near and far. Feeling into the space that you are sitting in. And this might be space that you've been in for a while, but now that you bring your awareness in, it might feel and look a little different. And start to just notice the legs connected to the earth, and even scanning those points of connection. Moving the awareness to your breath as it is. Just accepting what is in this moment. Noticing. Trying not to critique or judge. Just being with it as it shows up. And you might even do a little scan of the physical body to notice if there's any tightness or tension, anything you're coming to your practice with this morning. Might be physical, might be in the heart, might be emotional, might be energetic. It might be mental. So if the mind is feeling very busy or stuck on a thought, you might just notice that. And the first step of bringing awareness in can allow big shifts. Sometimes just being aware is the experience that we need. If you like to bring a more mindful breath in, start to inhale more fully into the belly. Exhale slow and soft out the nostrils. Just beginning to welcome more length, more intention to the breath. As you find that more intentional breath, notice. Notice what you notice. Notice what's yours in this moment. This is your body, your breath, right here, right now. Taking another couple mindful breaths like that, letting your exhale bring a little softening, a sense of letting go. That might be letting go of a thought that your mind is gripping on. It might be letting go of the gripping jaw. Might be a little bit more of just a surrender to receive. The next breath in, let's roll the shoulders up to the ears, press them back, and melt them down as you exhale. This time we're going to take those shoulders straight up to the ears. Squeeze them really tight, feel all the tightness and tension around the neck and the shoulders, and then as you're ready to exhale, just drop them down. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And as you exhale, just drop them down. Let's just drop the right ear to the right shoulder, take a few breaths there. Nice full inhale, full exhale. You can find a little movement, just tucking the chin, Cradling the head from side to side as you explore a little bit. Stay connected inward. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Just stay present with your experience, stay present with your breath. If you find a spot that feels a little bit crunchy or juicy, you can pause and send some deeper breaths into that area. And when you're ready, inhale up through center. And then exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Just dropping in gently. Finding your breath, and eventually maybe a little bit of movement. If you'd rather be in stillness, that's fine. Wherever you are, just be curious and explore the internal landscape that comes with this moment. And then pausing and inhaling the head right back up through center. And please bring your palms together in front of your heart. We'll take a nice cleansing breath to let go of anything that's holding us back from being fully present in our practice today. Please join me, a big breath in. Big breath out. Please clasp the fingers, send the palms towards me around the spine, tuck the chin. Take another breath here. And then inhale, palms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, float the arms down. Let's inhale, float those same arms up. And as you exhale, find cactus arms. Squeeze shoulder blades together, let the forearms reach back. Try to pull the ribs in, let the crown reach up and the tailbone reach down. Another breath here. Inhale, fingertips reach to the ceiling. Exhale, arms float down. Good. And lengthen the spine, sit up tall with the fingers grazing the earth. Feel the legs and hips on the floor. Just take a moment to connect with the earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, just feel that breath wash over the outside of the body, back into the earth. Go ahead and take the right leg out to the side. Let that leg stay straight. If it's really tight, if your hamstring's really tight, you can put a blanket or a pillow underneath the knee. Excuse me, I'm feeling I'm going to be doing a little bit of coughing today. I've got a little frog in my throat. So we're going to flex that foot, toes point up. If right when you get here, you're kind of falling into that bent knee and your right hip has left the ground, let's put something underneath the knee, blanket or a block or a pillow, to ground the sitting bones down. It also can take some pressure off that inner thigh if it's really tight. And as you find length in the spine, sitting up tall, you might take the hands behind you, squeeze shoulder blades together, open the heart, just check in and see how things feel here. And maybe this feels good and you stay here, let the eyes soften, go inward, breathe. Maybe you choose to take it a little bit deeper by taking the right hand to the right leg. And then I'll take that left arm and sweep it up. And then reach the left arm to the ceiling. And don't let your hand rest on the knee. Let it rest either above or below the knee, wherever is fine. And then maybe we reach up and over. Keep that top shoulder rolling open. Let the bottom hand crawl down the leg. Again, try not to land on the knee. And maybe even bend the bottom elbow so the shoulder drops out of the ear. The left fingertips can go straight up, really rooting down the left hip, or let the fingertips come up and over. You might move the head a little, looking past that arm, looking down, or just move from the neck, keeping the heart open towards the ceiling. Let's take another breath. As you inhale, we reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, pull the tummy in to help support the back body, and then exhale, release that arm down. Feel all that you feel, reconnect with your breath. And then we take the hands forward, pull the floor towards you, lift the heart, shoulders out of the ears, soften the jaw. Keep the tailbone reaching back, the heart reaching forward. You might stay right here. Keep pulling the floor towards you, lifting up and out. If you want to come in deeper, feel free. Just slowly melt yourself in. Taking a few breaths to let the body catch up. With every exhale, you might soften a little teeny bit more. Excuse me. Just being with your breath, being with your body right here, right now. If the neck feels a little tight or crunchy, you can find some movement with it. Really feel into the sensations that follow each breath. One more inhale, one more exhale. Begin to root your hands to the floor. Low tummy pulls in as you slowly pull or press yourself all the way up. Once you do arrive, let's roll the shoulders back so nice and tall. Left hand diagonally behind you to the floor, right arm shoots up into the air. Find that length, and then you can press down into the left hand and root down through the shin of your left foot and the heel of your right foot and press the hips forward. Maybe that right arm swings around a little bit and you find a little more exploration, whether your hips are up or down. Wherever you are, breathe, stretch it out. And eventually let that left hip spiral back down to the floor. If it has lifted, coming back down nice and mindfully. And recentering with your breath when you land. Big inhale. Big exhale. Allow the straight leg to bend. Place the foot in front of the hip. And then we'll take that bent leg and we're going to scooch the knee towards the front of the room so the heel comes towards the right hip. So only move as deep as you can, keeping both hips on the floor. So both sitting bones are on the floor, sitting up tall. Either stay like this or you can cross it over if that can happen with both sitting bones on the floor. So whether it happens or not, it doesn't really matter. Just keep that foot rooted to the floor, either crossed or in front of the hip. Sit up nice and tall. Let's take the opposite hand, left hand to the knee, right arm reaches up, big breath in. And then we're going to reach that right arm towards the back wall, opening up the shoulder. Let the palm stay facing up, and then slowly melt it to the floor. Try to keep that back shoulder rolling open. Inhale, find length. Exhale, find depth. Relax shoulders from the ears, soften the jaw. Feel free to stay just like this, or let your left arm wrap around that knee, pull the knee across the midline. And if you tend to go very deep into your twist, if your body feels ready, you can always take the elbow to the outside of the knee as well. Just don't push it, be with your breath. Let the gaze go to the back wall. Let every exhale take you a little bit deeper. Keep checking in with facial muscles. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Another full breath in, full breath out. Big inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, slowly unravel, coming back through center. Once you arrive, take a cleansing breath into that straight spine. And you can take your hands behind you, take the feet wide, and we'll just windshield wiper them a little bit. And as you're ready, let that right knee bend, the left leg goes straight. Get yourself set up here. Feel free to put something under your knee if you need to, either one or both. And lengthen the spine. We'll just check in, bringing the hands behind you, lifting up and out of the head and the heart. Flex that left foot, press energy out the heel, toes point up, shoulders back. Take a nice full breath here. See what you notice. Be with your body, be with your breath, exactly how it shows up. Then we'll take the left hand and slide it down the leg. Try not to land on the knee, either above or below. It's going to change, so it's okay. And the right hand's going to come diagonally behind you, sweep it up towards the ceiling, find length from hip to armpit to fingertips. And then check in with that left shoulder, draw it down, and then reach up and maybe over a little bit, maybe a little more, you decide. Breathe, soften the jaw, soften the neck, maybe look around a little bit. Getting a little more space in the right side body. And then inhale, ground down to lift up. And exhale, float that arm down, recenter, reconnect. Take the hands in front of you, roll the shoulders back, pull the floor towards you to lift the heart. You'll notice the tailbone starts to reach further behind you, the heart lifts, chin tucks a little bit. You could stay just like that, or start to bend the elbows and hinge forward, or maybe the hands come forward more, and you melt into more of a forward fold action. So notice I say melt, so don't push yourself. Just go to where your breath takes you, be there for a few moments, and then maybe with another breath, you might drop it. Noticing whatever there is to notice. And with that awareness, maybe a little shift happens, a little change. If you feel distracted by your thoughts, just when you notice that your mind has wandered around, take a moment to be grateful for the thinking mind, and then let it know that it's not needed right now, and we'll come back to it later. And just go back to your breath and your body. And beginning to root the hands down, pull the low tummy in to slowly lift yourself up and out. When you arrive, roll the shoulders back and down. And the right hand comes diagonally behind you, plant it to the floor, left arm sweeps up by the ear, roll that shoulder open. You can stay just like that. You can move the arm around or root down, press the hips forward, reach those left fingertips to the back wall. Just explore a little bit. As you're ready, right hip melts down and we spiral back around through center. Once you do land, just take a moment to land. Feel the legs and hips on the floor. And then we'll take that straight leg and bend it, place it right in front of the hip. Scooch the other knee in, so the knee is facing the front of the room, that right heel is near the left hip, and then sit up nice and tall. And again, you can cross over, just make sure that both sitting bones are on the floor. Right hand grabs that left knee, left arm sweeps up to the sky. Start to open the heart as you reach the fingertips to the back wall. Let the palms stay open to open the shoulder, and then eventually floor. Try to keep that shoulder open, heart open. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, depth into the twist. Your gaze can go to the back wall, taking another couple breaths here. Nice full breath in, full breath out. Big inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, slowly unwind. Coming back through center. Find lengthen the spine, then release the hands, release the legs, find a little windshield wiper. Allow yourself in your own time to settle in. Let the legs come straight. Lengthen up through the spine. Root the thighs down. Maybe the hands come down by your side. Lengthen up. Shoulders back, tummy in, ribs in, crown of the head lifts, maybe a little tuck at the chin. Bring some energy into the toes. Remember, everything's pulling in and up and grounding down all at the same time. Take another breath here, coming back to center. And if you'd like, you can take your hands further behind you, squeeze shoulders and elbows towards each other, lift the heart. And just feel into that. And if you'd like to stay there, feel free. If you want to use the hands, bring them forward a little bit and then hinge from the hips. Think about tailbone reaching back, heart reaching up and over the toes. Try to keep the ribs pulling in. I often say that because I'm noticing my ribs love to pop out. And then either stay there or take the hands forward. Try to keep length in the spine. Try not to round forward. And just breathe and let yourself melt in just a little bit more. A little waking up of the hamstrings, a little more. You might notice every inhale feels good to come up and out just a little bit. And then every exhale, you might drop in a little deeper. Just full breath in and full breath out. And root the hands down, low tummy pulls in, let that lift you up. We're going to cross the the left leg. We're going to cross the ankle over the thigh. If you're sitting on a pillow here or a blanket, you might want to get off. So left leg over the right thigh, kind of mirroring you here. And then we're going to bend that straight leg. So lean back, bend the leg any amount. It might just be a little bit. And even if that's too much for you, you can always keep the leg straight. Bend it if you can. And then you might take that foot in a little bit more. And then press down through the hands, squeeze shoulder blades and elbows together, lift the hips just a little bit, and then take them back. And as you take them back, place them down and let that kind of pull the flesh out from underneath. You kind of lean forward a little bit. And then be sure to flex that left foot. You want to keep the knees safe. So if you're here and your knee is kind of up in your face, you might want to move the right leg down so that that knee can relax down a little bit more. And squeezing shoulders and elbows together, lift the heart, take a few more breaths. You can stay just like that. You can always walk the right foot in more, but we want to try to stay out of the rounded back. So if you bring it in too far, you might go immediately into the rounded spine. Let's lift the heart up and out. Maybe a couple more breaths here. Another big inhale, another big exhale. Slowly release that right leg down and uncross the legs. Sit up tall, find a little windshield wipering with the legs from the hips maybe. Okay. And then pause, coming back into your Dandasana. Sit up nice and tall, find length in the spine. Big breath in, big breath out. As you feel ready, the right leg crosses over the left thigh. Bend the knee, cross the ankle over the thigh, sit up tall. Take the hands behind you, bend the left knee, bring the foot to the floor. Lift the hips a little bit, send them back, and let that kind of pull the flesh out from underneath as you roll forward. And then figure out what works for you here. So again, it's important to stay out of a rounded low back. So you might take your foot out further. Squeeze shoulder blades and elbows together to open the heart. If you want it deeper, just bring that left foot in a little bit closer, but really be mindful to stay out of that rounded low back. Keep the heart lifted. Flex your right foot, keeping the knee safe and happy. And just take a few breaths. Remembering each side is different. I had a teacher who said once, our sides are siblings, not twins. So just honor each one as their own unique, beautiful self. Another full breath in and out. And maybe one more. Beautiful. Very mindfully let yourself come out of this. Let's pull everything together and Dandasana, sit up nice and tall, lengthen the spine, pull the ribs in. Bring some energy to the toes, nice full breath in, nice full breath out. Let's make our way around to tabletop, hands and knees. And I think we'll take the hands forward and just find some circles with the hips. Let the circles be big or small. Just find a little bit more movement. Find some fluidity. And pause and go in the other direction. And then let yourself come to a pause and arrange your hands so they're a little more underneath the shoulders for a little more typical tabletop. When you arrive, get yourself settled in here. We'll extend the right leg behind, toes to the ground or lifted, hips square to the floor, tummy pulling in. Either stay there or let the left fingertips crawl forward or float them up. Or keep them right where they were with the hand underneath that shoulder. Keep your eyes on the drishti. Take another breath. Let's bring the knee to the nose. Maybe the elbow comes in if that arm is lifted. That's your exhale. And then inhale, extend. 2 more on your own. Nice and slow and steady. We'll all meet with the extended leg and maybe arm if it's lifted. And then mindfully release down. Get yourself settled. Shake it off maybe. Left leg extends, either toes to the ground or lifted. Square your hips, tummy in. Right arm might extend, forward or up, or maybe stays right where it was. Another breath here. Knee to nose or knee to elbow, squeeze it in. Inhale, extend. 2 more. And once you've extended, stay there. And then mindfully release down. And we'll take the knees wide, toes together. Wiggle the hips back towards the heels. Take a few breaths in child's pose. Be one with your inhale and one with your exhale. Soften the jaw. Just allow another couple of breaths there. As you wiggle the hips more towards the heels. Maybe the knees come a little wider, so it feels good to you. Let's take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, lift yourself back up to tabletop. Let your hands come forward a little bit. Shoulders over wrists. Let's step the right leg back, step the left leg back, and find plank. You can always keep knees down, just keep them behind your hips. Press the floor away. Make sure those hips are not melting below the shoulders. And then press up and wiggle it out into your downward facing dog. Bending knees, releasing shoulders, tucking chin, dropping heels, sending the hips back. Another full breath. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, let's all lower the knees down for the first one. We'll lower down to the earth. And find your baby cobra, elbows squeeze in, shoulders back, heart lifts. Pelvis and feet root down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra, or if you feel like pressing up a little more, you can. And exhale, lower down. And third one, find your cobra, your way. And exhale, we lower down. Curl the toes, engage the quads so the knees start to lift. And then either press up to tabletop or to plank. And back into downward facing dog. And we walk it out, relax the shoulders out of the ears. Good. Let's extend the left leg behind you. Try to keep those hips square as best you can. And we step the left leg all the way forward, helping it forward if it needs it. As you arrive and settle in, let the shoulders roll out of the ears, let the hips drop down a little bit without collapsing. Take another breath. Right hand roots to the floor, left hand to the left hip or thigh. And rotate the left shoulder up, look up towards the ceiling. Maybe the left arm floats to the sky. Staying grounded with the legs. Windmill that left arm back down to the floor. As the right leg steps forward, forward fold at the top of the mat. Try to release the head, even shake it yes and no. Let the knees have a nice bend in them, especially because it's the first one we're doing. Heels ground down. Ball joints of the big toe and little toe ground down. Inhale, come up halfway, engaging glutes to help lift. Straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. And reverse swan dive. Take it all the way up. And bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment upright. Feel your breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Look in the present moment exactly how it shows up. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale through center, forward fold. Root down with the hands, step back with the left leg into a low lunge on the side. Get your foundation sturdy. Your feet might go a little wider. Start to play with lifting your arms and make sure you feel stable and float it all the way up into your high lunge. Here's your drishti here. Taking another breath. Clasp the hands behind your low back. Squeeze shoulders and elbows together, and maybe the knuckles start to go down. Maybe the gaze goes up. One more breath. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down and really go slow and mindful. Once the hands land, step that right foot back, plank. And then you can move through your vinyasa. You can press back into child's pose or downward facing dog. Making your way back into down dog as you're ready. Nice cleansing breath when you arrive. And take that right leg behind you. And step it all the way forward, help it forward if it needs it. Get yourself settled into your little lunge, let the hips melt in. A nice full breath here, feeling what you feel. Left hand grounds down, right hand to the right knee or thigh. Right shoulder lifts, we look up towards the ceiling, maybe that right arm lifts, you decide. Taking another breath. Right arm spirals down to the floor as we start to bend the back knee and step it forward, forward fold. Taking a few breaths in your forward fold. Ground down, inhale, come up halfway, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. And bend the knees, reverse swan dive, nice and strong and lifted. And then hands to the heart. Take a nice full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up, clasp the fingers up top, point your finger points north. You reach up and over to the right. Doesn't matter which way you go, we'll do both. Ground down, lift up, keep shoulders back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, other side. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, we swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Round through the hands, bend the knees, giant step back with the right leg. Find your stability in your legs to float up to your high lunge. Just taking another breath here. Keeping that front knee bent. We'll clasp the hands behind you. Try to clasp the uncomfortable way, so the unnatural way. Squeeze elbows together and shoulders together, and then maybe the knuckles start to go down. But not sacrificing the squeeze of the shoulders and the elbows. Pull the tummy in, maybe the gaze goes up, another breath. And then we inhale, float the arms to the sky. Exhale, slowly and mindfully take them down to the ground. Step it back to your plank. Or you move through your vinyasa your way, whatever that looks like. Just be with your breath, be present with your body. Taking a good breath in and out. And we will all meet in downward facing dog. As you arrive, extend the left leg behind you. Bend the left knee, stack the left hip over the right hip, bringing the left foot closer to that right glute. Keep the shoulders square. Take another breath here. Toes to the sky. Square your hips, step that left leg all the way forward. Help it forward if it needs it. And as you arrive, we'll take that back foot, flatten it parallel to the back edge of the mat, so the heel drops down behind you, warrior two footing. Bend into both knees so you fire up the muscles of both legs. Right arm starts to float up. Use the strength of your legs and your core to float you up, warrior two. Good. Let's settle ourselves in. So you might take the feet a little wider. You might bend into that front knee a little more without letting the knee go over the ankle. Look forward over the fingertips. Wiggle the hips a little bit to see how that affects the alignment with the knee. And take another breath. Ground through the legs. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and find a little more lift through the crown of the head and the heart. Another breath. Good. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. And exhale, soften back in, warrior two. One more. Inhale, stretch it up, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend the front knee, warrior two. Cartwheel down, back heel lifts. Let the hands come forward a little bit, and the right leg's gonna slide up into the air for a standing L. Hips stay square. Drop the head. Another breath. Begin to let the right foot come to meet the left. Forward fold. You can clasp your elbows if that feels good. Tailbone reaches up a little more. Another full breath here. Ground through the feet. Release the arms. Little bend in the knees. Reverse swan dive all the way up. And hands to heart center. Nice full breath in. Full breath out. And stepping back. If you have no space in front of you, step back as well. I'm going to root down through the right leg and lift the left knee. Keep the tummy pulling in. Try not to lean back. Start to straighten the left leg. Even if you have to do it lower to keep the spine upright, that's fine. Take another breath. Begin to bend the knee and place it down next to the other. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, right through center, forward fold. Hands to the earth. Bend the knees, step back with the left leg. Ground through the hands, step all the way back, plank. Vinyasa your way. Finding your way back into your down dog as you're ready. Send the right leg behind you. Stack the hips, bend the knee, square the shoulders. Nice full breath here. Toes to the sky, straightening out that top leg. Square the hips and step that right leg all the way forward. Once you arrive, let the back heel draw down, parallel to the back edge of the mat, warrior two footing. And then ground through the legs. Left arm lifts, right arm floats out after, finding your warrior two. Nice. Get yourself settled into your foundation, bending into the front knee, gazing out over the front fingertips. Another breath. Ground down, lift up. Awesome. Let's reach the arms straight up, straighten out the front leg. And as you exhale, settle back into your warrior two. And again, lift. And exhale, settle back in. Taking another breath here, noticing the points of connection to the earth. And cartwheel down and around. Let the hands come forward a little teeny bit as that left leg floats into the outside. Standing L, let the head drop down. And then we release the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And we reverse swan dive all the way up, sweep and gather, and then pull it right into your heart. As you arrive, ground down through the left leg. Lift the right knee. Pull the tummy in. Just make sure it's the opposite of what you did last time. And then the right leg starts to straighten. If you start to lean back, lower the leg a little bit and try to lift the heart. Good. Soften your jaw. Breathe. Beautiful. Let's bend the knee. Place it down next to the other. Big inhale. And big exhale. Come through center, forward fold. Ground your hands down. Step back with the left leg. Step back with the right leg. Plank. Let's all hold our plank for a moment. You can always take the knees down. And then let's come down onto forearms. Try to do it with your hips lifted. Forearm plank. Again, you have the option of taking the knees down. Keep pressing the earth away with the forearms. Squeeze the glutes and the thighs. Breathe. Another breath. And then drop the knees. Slowly, gently drop the hips. And let the hands separate. Sphinx. Pull the floor towards you, shoulders out of the ears, crown lifted, chin tucked slightly. The pelvis and feet to the floor. And another couple breaths here. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. Let the elbows come out wide and just come to rest on one cheek. Feel the body surrender to the earth. Feel the letting go, find your breath. You might bend the knees and just windshield wiper the feet from left to right, taking the feet up towards the ceiling. All right, let the legs come down. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the chin, press yourself up into plank. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. And hips up and back, down dog. Take a nice cleansing breath with me. Big inhale. Audible open mouth, releasing exhale. Send the left leg behind you. Take the knee to the nose, pull in and up. Send it back. Left knee to left elbow, squeeze and lift. Send it back. Left knee to right elbow, squeeze and lift. And send it back. And step that left leg all the way forward. Once you arrive, take that back heel, drop it down again. Stabilize in the leg, so bend the back knee. Right arm lifts up, and we find warrior two. Again. Get yourself settled in when you do arrive. A nice full breath in and out. Good. Left forearm to left thigh, let the palm face up. Right arm sweeps up and over the ear as we rotate that shoulder open. Let the palm face down towards the floor out in front of your front foot. Let the top shoulder roll open, gaze towards the ceiling or gaze towards the ground for more stability. Another breath. Now grounding through the legs, you might choose to stay here or lift through core and let that left arm sweep out in front. Another breath. Beautiful. Let's make our way back to warrior two. Back hand to back thigh, front arm reaches up, reverse your warrior. Make sure you keep that bend in the front knee. Good. And back through warrior two to side angle. Awesome. One more reverse. And we find our way to warrior two. And we're going to straighten that front leg, which will probably feel really good. Reach the fingertips forward. And triangle. Trikonasana. Length from hips to armpits. Fingertip to fingertip. Ground through the legs. Maybe glance down to give you more stability or up towards the ceiling. Another breath. Root down, lift up, bend into the front knee, warrior two. And we cartwheel down. Back heel lifts. We're gonna walk those fingertips forward a little bit, right leg lifts in the air, standing L. Once again, head melts towards the left leg, hips are squared, another breath. And this time we bend the right knee, bring it in, bend the left knee, make a ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Right leg sends it behind you, length. One more ball, squeeze it in. Right leg extends behind you, length, and then we float the right leg all the way back, low lunge. Yes, hands ground down, left leg back, plank. You can move through your vinyasa. We will all meet in child's pose. Either take the direct route or the not so direct route. Taking another full breath in and out. And eventually making your way to your downward facing dog. Settling yourself in. As you arrive, extend the right leg behind you. Bring the knee to the nose, squeeze and lift. Send it back. Right knee to right elbow. Lift, and send it back. All right, knee to left elbow, squeeze and lift. And send it back. Step that right leg all the way forward. Help it forward if it needs it. As you get settled in, take that left heel, drop it down behind you. Round through the legs, left arm lifts, and we cartwheel up for warrior two. Good. Get yourself settled here. Take another breath. Use your exhale to settle you in a little more. Right forearm to thigh, palm faces up. Left arm sweeps up and over that ear. Find length from the outer edge of the left foot to the fingertips. Let that top shoulder roll open. Ground through the legs. Choose mindfully where your gaze is. And maybe you stay there. Maybe that right arm floats up. Wherever you are, you breathe. And then we come back around up to warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse it. Right arm lifts. Left hand to the left thigh. Nice full breath. Coming back through warrior two and side angle. Good. Another breath here. Squeeze thighs together. Pull the tummy in. Back through warrior two into a reverse. Make sure you keep that bend in the front knee. And we make our way to warrior two, where we straighten the front leg with a little ah. And reach the fingertips forward and find your triangle. Take your hand anywhere along that right leg. Send your gaze to the ceiling or to the floor, whatever you choose. Lengthen up through the spine, another breath. Root down to lift up into your warrior two again, where we cartwheel the hands down. Back heel lifts. Take the hands forward a little bit and let that left leg float up into the air. Drop the head and heart towards the right knee. Keep a little bend in the knee. And then we bend both knees, squeeze in, make yourself into a meatball, or maybe a falafel. And then extend the left leg behind you, nice and long. One more time, squeeze and bend. Pull it all in. And left leg extends behind you. And this time we float the left foot all the way down behind you, low lunge. Hands ground down. Step it back, down dog or plank or move through your vinyasa, wherever you choose to be. Taking a good breath in and out, soften and let go. Make our way up into downward facing dog. When you arrive, extend your left leg behind you and step it forward. As you ground down, lift up, find your high lunge. Find cactus arms, squeeze shoulder blades together, open the heart. Inhale, lift the fingertips up. Now we're gonna reach the fingertips forward, ground through the left leg. I have to move back, otherwise I'll hit my wall. And we're gonna squeeze the thighs together to float that right leg up into warrior three, reaching your arms forward. Try to square your hips. Pull the tummy in. Taking another breath. Yes, I'm using my wall because it's right there and I feel lazy. It's helpful. And then eventually let the right leg come to step with the left, finding Tadasana. Good job. So take a couple breaths here. I love the saying, props are for pros. So letting yourself use your props, not just your blocks, but your walls and your chairs. Always welcome. Take a nice full breath in. And let it all go. Let yourself feel your body, feel your breath, feel your heart rate, the vibration of energy within and without. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep it all up, and as you exhale, just bring it through center, forward fold. Root your hands down, take lots of little steps back, downward facing dog. Nice full breath here. Extending right leg behind you, we're going to step that leg forward. Ground down, float up, find your high lunge. Keep the arms lifted as you start to shift forward, putting more weight into that right leg. And then squeezing thighs together, try not to bend the back knee and bounce off like a springboard, which we often will do. But instead, squeeze thighs and lift off into your warrior three. Trying to keep the arms out in front. Makes it a little more challenging. Try to square your hips. Another breath or two. And eventually start to lift the head and heart and step the left foot to meet the right. Wherever you are, beautiful. Take a nice full breath in. And a full breath out. Another big inhale. And as you exhale, release the arms. Let the palms open, let the shoulders open. Take a moment to receive. Feel the top of the head like a funnel. Every inhale, the beautiful, divine, universal energy fills you up. Every exhale, you open up to receive it. Another breath in, another breath out. Let's inhale, sweep with intention, all the good juju all the way up, and then through center, into heart center, staying in Tadasana. Good. Take the feet a little wider. Let the toes point out just a little bit. And the tailbone's going to start to draw down as the knees track over the second toe. And you might have to adjust your feet as you go. And just go to the place that works for you. So if you're up high, that's fine. If you tend to go lower, that's fine. If you want to use a block on the highest setting or any setting, You can use that to sit on. Press knees to the elbows, elbows to knees, lift the heart. If you are dropped all the way down, press down through the outer edges of the feet, squeeze eyes together and lift a little bit, lifting the pelvic floor. Another breath. Very mindfully and with great care, take a hand to the floor and slowly lower yourself down. You can always just move your block, just do it safely. Luckily, you're not far from the floor, so if you do fall, it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. Good. Once you land down nice and mindfully, take your hands forward. If you have a block, you can place it between your thighs. Keep that energy pulling in and up, and then you'll turn long ways on your mat and lower down nice and slow. One vertebra at a time. Use your core strength. Or just be done and come down onto the floor as fast as possible. Whatever works for you. Once you do arrive, you can move your block aside. Just take a few moments to breathe in the connection to the earth. Feel your breath, feel the belly rise and fall. Take your feet as wide as your mat from left to right. And just find a little windshield wiper with the knees. And let the knees come to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze, a little roll. Massaging further up the spine. And let the right leg come long on the mat. Flex that right foot, pull the left knee into the chest. If you notice the left hip pops out, start to squeeze the thighs towards each other, pulling that left hip down towards the front edge of the mat. With a full breath. Feel free to stay just like this, or let the left leg extend straight up towards the ceiling, where the hands come behind the thigh. Press energy out that left heel to the ceiling or the sky. Taking a few breaths here, your hands can always walk up the leg more if that's accessible. Try to keep head and shoulders to the floor. Toes melt down as the heel reaches up. Nice full breath in and out. Go ahead and bend both knees, bring them in towards your chest, a little rock and roll. And now we grab hold of the right knee, pull it into the chest. Left leg can go long on the mat if that's comfortable for you. If not, keep it bent. Take a few breaths here. Pull that right hip down towards the left foot, keeping those hips aligned. Either stay here or send the right leg straight up with the hands behind the thigh. And breathe. You can always walk those hands up further too. Soften your jaw on your face. Okay. And as you're ready, bending both knees, bringing them in towards your chest. Nice tight squeeze. And you can take your arms out wide from your shoulders. If you like to use props for your twist, grab what you need. Knees come in, and then we pull the knees over to the right. Let the knees surrender to the floor or your props. Let the left arm be heavy to the floor. Connect with your breath. Just find surrender into the shape.
Just letting yourself melt here. Not worrying about where we're going, just being right here, right now, with your breath, with your body. One more big inhale, big exhale, right where you are. On the next breath in, start to engage and lift the knees up through center. And you just rock and roll a little bit. Rock and roll till you feel complete. And when you do, you can bring the knees up and over to the left. Let yourself settle into your twist, whatever that looks like for you today. Let the right arm draw heavier and heavier into the earth. Notice what happens for you, body, mind, heart. Not analyzing, just witnessing, receiving. And a full breath here. On your next inhale, start to engage and pull the knees back up through center. We'll rock and roll a little bit. And then let the feet come to the floor with bent knees, hands by your side. Lift through a few moving bridge postures. Hands by your side, root down through the feet, squeeze glutes. Start to lift, keep the head centered, root down to lift up. And then as you exhale, lower down, nice and mindfully, upper, middle, then lower back. Use your core strength to give you that stability to stop the wobble. Inhale, lift. Glute strength to give you stability on the ride up. And core strength to give you stability on the ride down. Let's just move through one more. Last one, press down through the arms a little bit more to get a little more into the heart. And then lowering down, nice and slow and stable. Feeling each point of connection with the earth. When you land, take a nice big belly breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. Beautiful. Go ahead and let the legs come along on the mat. Allow the feet to flop out. The arms to rest by your side. Maybe take them a little wider to take up a little more space. Of course, if you want anything for Shavasana, now would be the time to grab it. Get yourself comfortable. Take a nice big breath in and a big releasing audible breath out. You might even choose to take one more just like that to give yourself full permission to surrender and let go. This is your time to find ease, to release effort, to trust the process, and to allow and just be. Without changing anything, just bring awareness in. Just awareness, aware of the body, the breath, aware of the space you're in. Now choosing an action like deepening the breath, bringing a fuller inhale to bring a little more energy into the body, down into the belly, and a more complete exhale. As that breath deepens and lengthens, you bring further movement into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And just slowly waking the body up into a nice big stretch, filling you with all the goodness that you need for your day. Just trusting that your breath in fills you up with everything needed. And your breath out opens your heart, spirit to receive it. As you're ready, bending the knees and just making your way over to one side and to lay in the fetal position. Take a pause there. Pause in the fetal position where it all begins. Maybe setting the intention to bring your practice with you off of the mat. All the goodness you've brought in, take it with you. As you press yourself up to a seated posture, letting the spine to grow long and tall, and the heart to open with the shoulders back. The legs and hips connected and supported by the earth, and the crown of the head floating up towards the heavens. And just taking a moment to just be. Notice how you feel. Bringing the palms together in front of your heart. Close together, finding a cleansing breath. Let go of anything that's lingering about that no longer serves us. Big inhale. Releasing exhale. And bowing down to the beauty, the greatness that lives within you, and lives within me, and lives within all of us. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.